Hello, Namaste. This is 𝗦𝗧𝗢𝗢 once again, and welcome back to my channel, Financial Market Analysis Twist by 𝗦𝗧𝗢𝗢. So, in today's video, I would just like to give you some key takeaways from the last week that St. Petersburg Business Conference, Economic Conference, International Economic Conference, because during that time I had visited, as you know, I had released those videos. So, what are the key takeaways for India and Indian businessmen? For opportunities for India from this conference. So that I want to enumerate in this video. Before starting this video, if you like this video, you please put a like and share it with your maximum friends so that YouTube also propagates it and promotes it. And also I have a separate format. It's a paid basis. Anybody wants to take the stock specification ideas or the investment and the business ideas, they can contact me by sending me email details down below. It's on a chargeable basis. It's a nominal charge, and I will share you all the details how we can proceed. So, and also a disclaimer that the ideas here are based on my interactions and certain this my analysis. So investors and viewers are requested to do their own due diligence before taking any decision, as I am not responsible for their decisions. So let's start. So as I told you that in recent, that last St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, during that time we happened to meet many of the Russian companies, Russian businessmen, and also had opportunity to interact with some of the government officials of the different regions of Russia. So these are the key takeaways. Is some of this is that, as you know, that Russia is a very rich in natural resources and also in the agricultural and dairy farming. There is a lot of huge land, tracts of lands are available, and there are many regions which are mostly the agronome, or what you call that agrosphere basis region, where the major economic activity is the agricultural, and particularly the wheat, corn, sunflower, and these are the grains basically, and oil seeds manufacturing. Basically, Russia is quite big, or the number one, number two in the world in that part. So some of the key takeaways from this was that they are ready to invite Indian agriculturists or Indian companies, Indian businesses, Indian investors who want to come to Russia. Because land and all the other facilities are much, it's a huge land, it's a huge country, right? So they invite that, explore the agricultural opportunities. Land and other incentives will be given at very attractive rates, and there are also, most of the regions have the special economic zone, where most of the time where there is a graded tax structure, in the sense that first 5-7 years you don't pay any income tax, and also there is no VAT or property tax on anything, and after that there is a graded, you pay 5% for few years and 7%, and ultimately up to the highest limit of 13.5% income tax. So there is no capital, customs duty on this import of the equipments and all these things. So these are the general some of the incentives offered by different regions, which almost all the regions have the special economic zones, and they also they provide loans, or that government through the government incentive subsidies from ranging from 0 to 5% of the interest rate. So it's a very kind of attractive proposals, which most of them had talked about, and they had shared their some of them have shared also all this presentations. So another one of the major was that they were most of these regions were very keen on inviting Indian pharmaceutical companies and Indian pharma businesses to set up facilities in Russia, in all the regions. They were inviting that they will provide land and they will provide all the incentives, and also the process for approval, because it's a very complex process for getting any drugs approved, and all these facilities approved. It takes around 2 years and very much amount of money. But they said that depending on the proposal, depending on the requirement of the Russian regions also, where which particular segment of the pharma or the medicine is in demand or required, and even many of these regions were ready to offer offset contracts. What is offset contracts? Offset contracts in the sense that if you come and if you invest and if the government will provide, and there is a minimum kind of a guarantee that some of this 10% or so of your production of whatever you the pharma you produce, medicines, that will be procured by the government hospitals for distribution into the government hospitals. So it's a kind of at least a assurance of some sort of a minimum percentage of business. So that is also a very big incentive, because where in the world you will find such a kind of a minimum guarantee where there is a minimum that minimum volume of take assurance is there. So that also gives a lot of incentives for the businessmen and investors to come and set up pharma plants in Russia. Also in some of the, because some of the regions in the north, in Siberia and Novosibirsk, they are very have natural, huge natural, beautiful these herbs and so much of natural plants and medicinal plants that they were providing also, that some of these plants ingredients as goes as the raw materials for many of this Ayurveda or natural herbs or the medicine basically for the pharma industry. So that way also it makes sense, because you have your backward kind of a raw material available, and in some of this region like Sakhalin, which I happened to meet in one of the outside conference also, and the government official told that they are having the best some quality of prawns in the world, you know, that because it's a beautiful, natural, unpolluted region. It's archipelago of Russia. It's a huge area of island kind of Sakhalin. So he said, and the very special quality of fish also it habitates there. So from that you get the best oil, that cod liver oil, or you know that. So it also, they were saying that some of this fish, you know, after this, so whatever that excreta or some kind of a from that is extracted from the body, it's the best in the, you know, you don't get anywhere else. The only thing is that this fisheries or the fishing communities, they don't know how to use it, so they just throw it. So it's huge quantity available naturally there, and that can be used for making this kind of vitamin E kind of oil and packaging. You can and sell it as a capsule. So that is also an incentive for the pharma. So that was the one of the very key information which I got from my interaction with this person, and they're also providing you know, all kinds of incentives for, and they were saying that we are much more rich compared to even Moscow region, because the average salaries are 40% higher, and all the prices, because of the distance, it's you know that it's 8 to 10 hours from Moscow by flight. So you can see how far it is. It is near to Japan actually. Japan is only 1.5 hours by flight from that Sakhalin Islands, so from Tokyo. So they were kind of saying that, you know, that logistics also makes, you know, everything comes to Moscow and then it is transported. It makes it also much more expensive. So it was kind of inviting that it makes sense for any businessman or investor or company to set up this kind of pharma industry in their region where they are ready to provide all kinds of incentives. And also there is a huge population of 9 million in that region, so that there is a sufficient demand consumer and sufficiently rich consumers, because the average salaries or the cost of living index is higher compared to even Moscow. So and also you can always, you know, that oil and gas most of the regions have, so they are inviting this oil and gas service providing companies also, like dredging and earth moving equipments, and also it is because very rich in the mining and natural resources. So now they are, because of the sanctions, they are inviting Indian companies, Indian earth moving equipments or the mining equipment manufacturers, because they need their spare parts and accessories and auxiliaries. So there is this kind of a lot of opportunities for Indian companies, India and from India. And another was that there is a textile hub also. It's a 𝗦𝗛𝗎𝗏 region. It's near Moscow, around you can say 500 kilometers, only 500 kilometers from Moscow region. So that region is called the Manchester of Russia. So it's a 𝗦𝗏𝗎𝗏 region. It's textile hub. So there also we happened to meet with one of the representative of the government and special economic zone, and she was telling that we are looking towards sourcing raw materials from India, as well as it would be very good if they can come. We can provide all kinds of energy, electricity, land, water, because there is sufficient all these things, and it's much cheaper compared to the India what is available, because of the India has high energy cost and water, and also the land is not sufficiently available for setting up plants. So these are some of the highlights which I wanted to share. Also, there was another from the near Siberia region called 𝗦𝗛𝗏𝗦𝗧𝗢𝗏 region, where the officials which we interacted with, they told that they have huge this wood, timber, wood and cellulose, the newsprint for the paper industries, basically all the raw materials available. So it can be, they are ready to sell it to India or the Indian companies, Indian importers, and also some kind of because it is very rich in herbal and all these natural plants there. So and also as I told you that most of the regions want that Indian pharma companies or the Indian businesses, they come and set up at least pharma units, and they provide all kinds of a guarantee also of tech, minimum of tech guarantees. So you can see that there is a lot of interest and opportunities for India and the Indian businessmen in particular. So this is what I wanted to share with all of you, so that everybody gets benefit. In case of any interest, you can always write to me in the comment section, or you can send me mail, and whatever, this is what my job is. I can, as you know, that I'm a consultant also, so I can help in guiding that and the providing consultancy for that opportunities. That's it from my side, and see you once again with some another new unique ideas and topics and update about the market and the economy. Till that time, ciao from Neeraj from Moscow, and love you all. See you.